What up? Okay. All right, where we at? Where we at? All right, what's going on, party people? All right, checking this weather and all that good stuff. All right, all right, all righty, all right. A little bit all over the place. I was trying to be organized today, but as we see, that did not happen in the least little bit. Um, nope, didn't happen at all. No organization whatsoever. Um, yeah, because I ended up picking up a last minute signing this morning. Came in and for 12 o'clock noon Eastern, so I hopped on that, and the guy needed to change the venue where we were gonna meet at, so we met up at my wife's salon. So I had to shoot up over there, get all that together, and he's all taken care of now, so he's good to go. And I get to kick it with y'all. Let me see this thing here. Hmm. Okay. All right. I'll leave this over here. What's going on, Crystal? Good to see you. Yeah, I got the spam. Yeah, I updated the thing and put the spam blocker on. Um. Okay, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Griffin Notary, and you are, sir. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm not interested in any of the advertising things. All right, thank you. Yo, what up? Oh, well, you just be discreet to do what? Talking about for a house inspection? Oh, oh, okay. Yeah, I put you on my earbud, but I'm doing a live right now. Nah, I'll put you on my earbud. I'm gonna put you on my earbud. Let me say that again. I have no idea. I couldn't. Why they don't want? Just get the pictures and go. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. One of the notaries, they stuck on a house assignment, trying to do a inspection. She down there in North Carolina, so she wanted me to hang on the phone with her and all of that and stuff. All right. All right. So we got the folk up in here. Yeah, let me double check. Well, while I'm here, let me double check my spam blocker because I put that in there. The spam blocker. And those of y'all who mods, y'all can go ahead on, and if y'all see somebody up in here doing some crazy stuff, you can, block them or put them out and all that good stuff. Okay, so I think. Mhm. All right, so let's see here. Oh man, that's right. I gotta do one more thing, y'all. Sorry about this, y'all. I told y'all this. My morning got thrown off when I had to take that signing and everything. So I got to do this here for my man Q. Me and him. Oh, it's on the other phone. Yeah. So we was working on some stuff. All right, because I got to email this to me real quick. And let's see here. All right. All right. Hold on one second, y'all. All right. That's emailed to me. We'll pull this up. Yeah. Yeah. Today gonna be sort of relaxed. We're gonna talk about some stuff, talk about some money. Um, yeah, that's what I'm working on now. What you say, Lynn? Gerald, just take the pictures. Don't worry about being discreet. You out there. They ain't out there with you. All right. Where we at? Where we at? Here we go. All right. Let's get this here popping, y'all. That's why I like Fritter Fridays because it's actually very, very relaxed. It's so we real chill here and everything. So let me just make sure I got all this stuff together. All right, all right, all right, y'all. We got something good, y'all. We got something good. We about to show y'all. So, so me and Q a while back was talking, and we was, and my thing is, I don't have a problem leaving the house for $60 and everything. I really, really don't. And I told him, I said, man, I need something that says that, So the great creative mind of Q, he put something together for me, and let me pull this up real quick. And man, oh man, this is off the chain here, y'all. This this is this is off the chain. All right. And let me do this other thing here. Let me get this together for him. All right. And everything's taking its time to load up, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. So let me share this with y'all. So me and him was talking, and I told him, I said I wanted to have I wanted a logo or something. Hold on. All right, you good now? All right. Okay. So I wanted to do a logo or something that depicted the fact that I will leave the house for $60. So my man Q, he did it as always, as always, as always. And this here's what we got going on now. Let me drop the website for him in there, his store, and y'all check this out. I'll tell you, this is on point here, y'all. Bam. Y'all see what it says. I leave the house for 60. For $60. I love this. I love this. I love this. Yes, this is to all those people who've been talking smack, talking about I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that for 60. I leave the house for 60. Let me throw my little head back up in here. I leave the house for 60. I'm serious. Yeah, we causing trouble because I'm tired of people tripping and acting like they don't know how to make money or they scared to make money. I leave the house for 60. That's right. Now what? Now I guarantee you somebody gonna be, well, I leave the house for 75 and I leave the house for 40. They'll be trying to throw some little graphics and stuff like that up. Or y'all who's in them Facebook group, they'll be talking all kinds of smack about me and everything. Well, that's fine. That's fine. You can talk all the smack you want and everything, and y'all, and it's amazing that we got to have this battle in this notary business. It got to actually be a straight up battle over, over people, trying to get your money, or trying to stop you from making money. And that's what we're going to sort of talk about today also, is the importance of out here doing this work, going out here and working it. I leave the house for 60. That's it right there. That's it right there. If they don't like it, too bad. I'm serious. What's going on, Caprinas? That's my man right there. He's out there in California and stuff. So on Q's site, let me grab his stuff. I got all these windows popping up all over the place. We got the exclusive. I leave the house for 60. Boom. The shirt. Oh, I'm always sharing stuff without putting my sound up there. That's what I'm talking about. Hold up. I always forget to put the sound on there. I wish they would do that automatically. But I understand why they don't. So hopefully y'all can hear this. I got that up nice and loud. Throw my volume up. I leave the house for 60. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's what I'm talking, in the famous words of Master P, bout it. A lot of people want to sit here and be tripping. Look, you got to start somewhere. You most definitely got to start somewhere. Because they say, what my man said, I know what it is. Newbies come across seasoned notaries that happen to mention they won't take. Yeah, they come across that. They come across those folk and everything. I'm gonna sort of jump all over the place. I actually was real scripted today on everything that I was going to share with y'all, but I'm just gonna shoot from the hip today. But I'm gonna cover all my points, and we'll pop that back up in a little bit. But I leave the house for 60. All right, and I guarantee you somebody's gonna want to try to bite off of that and be trying to sell y'all. I leave the house for 100 or more. I leave the house for $47.57. They're gonna be all that kind of mess. They're gonna be, because that's where we're at. That's where we're at with these folk. But yeah, because if you think about it, people are telling us don't do this for this dollar amount. However, they're constantly selling us stuff for around that same dollar amount. Now, my thought is this, and y'all chime in the chat there. And again, those of y'all who are mods, if you see somebody popping up some crazy stuff, just bounce them out of here on a permanent. But here's the thing. If $60 isn't profitable for me as a notary, then how is it's profitable for you to sell me something for that same amount? How about just go ahead on and just charge everybody that same amount. Just charge everybody that same amount of 150 or more, because that's really where it's at. But I see people out here marketing courses that cost almost $1,500, and then they're slashing the price down to $97 or even cheaper. And I'm like, okay, that's a deep cut. from almost $1,500 down to $97, $85. So I mean, so what you're doing is you're dropping the price down to the average cost of a closing, and you feel that that's profitable for you, that you can make the money you need to make for your bottom line by cutting it down to $85, and in some cases even less. Thank you very much, Pamela. Thank you very, very much. It says I sent you the contact. Okay, New York cousin, somebody up there connecting with Shannon. Thank you. Got Brooklyn up in here. So this is crazy. So let me pull up my other stuff that I wanted to show y'all and everything. And hold on, before I do that, let me all right, here we go. So this here's Q's site. Captivated NotaryStore.com. Y'all come in here and check it out. Got all the gear up there. Oh yeah. And I came up with a new thing today, Q. I'm gonna get with you later on that one, man. I know you're gonna like this one. I know you're gonna like this new one that I came up with and everything. So this is it. Y'all get a chance, go to captivatednotarystore.com, check it out. The exclusive, and this is the only place this is being sold. So if you see this shirt, you see that graphic sold anywhere else, they stole it. Exclusively on here. Exclusively right on Captivated Notary Store. So I'm putting it out there because y'all know how you got some little roguish folk out here in these notary streets and stuff. Everything. We got some roguish people out here. They be trying to take everything from folk. So what I wanted to chit chat with y'all about today. Yeah, like you said, if you see it somewhere else, it's a problem. You see it anywhere else, it's a problem. There you go, Wanda. It's about that revenue. And I'm going to show y'all, okay? I didn't have a chance, and I'm going to try, maybe I have to do it on the fly, and type some stuff up and everything. But I'm going to give y'all some numbers real quick as to what's been going on with me and the business. Nothing bad, but this is just the reality of it. So I did a quick synopsis the other night of where I'm at financially for the first 6 months of the year. And right now, I'm about a month's worth of notary work off, or loan closings off from where I was last year. So last year I was at just north of $35,000 for a 6 months period. And let me caveat this: I am not telling anybody how much money they should make, they better make, or any of that. I am not doing any of that. And I know there are people out here who don't like notaries talking the money side of the house and about what, with this, that, and the other. However, people are constantly trying to sell you stuff to help you make money and telling you how much money you should make. So I see no reason not to discuss a little bit about this. Okay. If I'm wrong, please somebody correct me. But I don't see where's the issue at, to be honest. But some people are like, they don't want nothing spoken of when it comes to the dollar amount, but yet everybody is trying to do what? Get that dollar amount. They're trying to find a way to make it happen. So, all right, let me pop this up over here. So, here's where I'm at right now. Last year, for the first 6 months, I was at 344 closings, averaging 57 closings per month. This year, for the same time period, I'm at 280 closings, and that's and it rounds up to 47. So I'm 10 down. I'm 10 signings per month less than where I was last year this time, which means you take 10 signings per month, that's 60. So I'm down 60 signings a month, which is basically I'm shy of a month. I'm missing out on a month's worth of revenue due to the slowdown, all of that kind of stuff, mortgage crisis, all the stuff that's going on. And which means is my revenue is down approximately 6,200 and some bucks lower than what it was last year. So I was a little north of 35,000 last year for the first 6 months, and I finished. And this year I'm at 28 and some change. So I'm about $6,000 short of where I was at last year this time. Can't do that one. So I'm 10 short of that. Okay. I mean 10 signings less, and then 6,000 and some change less than that. Griff, hold on, who you say? Yeah, you know how hungry you are. It's either you have the drive or not. That is true. That is true. Now, if you look at my Kara, if you looked at my videos with my accountant as a notary, and me and Q was talking about it as a note at this point, you're not paying yourself. You're not quote unquote paying yourself a salary. You got to be making a certain amount of money before you can slide over into the S corp tax bracket or tax status or tax classification and be paying yourself. You can do what is called an owner's draw. And my accountant, Rob Turner, he talks about that. If you look over there in my business interviews playlist, there's a playlist called Business Interviews. And he talks about that in there, about how you do an owner's draw from your LLC or your business, put it into your personal account, and you pay your business and pay your personal expenses that way. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay. That's how you do it. That's, to keep you from commingling the funds. So if you're looking to try to start this business and then get a paycheck, per se, you really got to be pulling in some dollars. And you can't be pulling in dollars if you're not going out there working. So even if you was to average $95 a signing, but you're able to pull in $15,000 to $18,000 a month, that could put you in the category of being able to quote unquote pay yourself if you're making a certain level of money. And that's where you got to get with an accountant. You got to get with an accountant, and they can walk you through all of that. But this is kicking a lot of notaries in the butt that they're more concerned about having it listed like I'm paying myself like a salary. So you go start a business, and then you're worried about trying to be a W-2, not necessarily you, but in general, that's what it is. It's like, grow the business, make the money first, work with an accountant, and you'll know when you can start drawing a salary off of what you're making. But you can't pull a salary in. You can't get a salary from that if you're not going out there doing the work. So, got some more info for you on this here. So, for 2021, just a quick recap for those popping in here right now. Excuse me. I did 344 signings last year for the first 6 months, 57 signings a month. Then in this year, for the first 6 months, 280, and I'm averaging 47. So I'm down 10. My revenue is down $6,256. So I'm basically off a month. Okay. And I got something else to show y'all with this here, because I had to, and I wish I know the numbers off the top of my head. Oh, here it is. Okay. Whew. I'd be losing my little papers and stuff. What my man Caprina's got to say here. Ironically, I did a comparison between traveling 60 miles and staying at home for 1,000 signings, and I was surprised that the difference was only $3K. Yeah. So you have to, this is where you really got to get into it. I do the numbers comparison. Now let me share this with y'all. So I did 280 signings. All right, let me pop over here back to y'all. 280 signings. Out of that 280 signings, 128 was less than $100. Out of that 280 signings, 128 of those signings that I've done this year, I got paid less than $100. That equates to 45% of the work that I've done this year. 45% of my revenue. 45% of my revenue. Say it one more time, third time. 45% of my revenue came from orders less than $100. What that means is if I did not get up for those orders, I would be missing out on 45% of revenue, because you can't say, well, if you didn't do those, you could have got, orders that was $100 or more. Could I? Not necessarily, because they weren't there. They weren't there. Okay. So when I ran the numbers, now, let me see if I can do it this way. Because those of y'all who are members, I did the numbers on my YouTube. I did talked about this with y'all. So I'm gonna do a rough thing of the numbers here. All right, I'm gonna do a rough thing with the numbers once this calculator comes up. That's right. That's right. Yeah, 58. Yeah, and now the mileage went up to, I think, 62 and a half cents. The tax deduction is now 62 and a half cents. So when you go out here and do this thing, you making 62 and a half cents. So you pulling in, if you're doing 2,000 miles a month, I think that's what is it? 60 162 times 2,000. Yeah, you're talking about roughly 2,000. Oh, let me put this up. You're roughly talking about $1,240 of tax deductions that you get. Okay, so y'all might have to play, run this back, because I'm gonna run through some numbers real quick for y'all. Okay, I'm gonna run through some numbers real quick. So right now, when my last checking, I was bringing in $102 per signing. Okay, that's my average. Okay, hold on. This is for, can't do that one. Dang. They be sending me the orders right when I know I can't do them. All right. So $102 per signing. Now, so that 102 times 128 comes out to $13.56. Okay. So let me write this down so I don't forget. $13.56. Now, that 102 times the 280 signings is $28,560. Okay, so that $28,560 minus the $13,056, that leaves me with $15,504 that I would have made. Now, it does not matter. It does not matter whether you was pulling in 50,000 during this time period. You losing 45% off of $50,000. That's a lot of money. So the question is, are you okay with missing out on 45% of revenue that you could make? Note what I'm saying here. Let me come back to y'all real quick. Oops. Note what I'm saying here. Revenue that you can make. This is about the money that you are supposed to be making. You are supposed to be making the necessary money to take care of your family. You're saying I want to pay myself. Okay, well, you can't pay yourself if all you pulling in is 15,000 every 6 months. You look more legit if you pulling in 28, 30,000, 45, 50,000 every 6 months. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta use some common sense here. So had I not taken those orders that were under 100, and a lot of them was for $50, that's those HELOCs, I wouldn't be where I'm at. See, that's the thing when you look at the bottom line of how much did I bring in, irregardless of what the dollar amount was that you got paid. What did I do? Did I bring it in? So, case in point. So let's just say, so if we stop right now, if we stop right now and say I don't do any more work for the rest of the year, so you're talking about $2,040, $1,240 times 6. Okay, so that's 7,440. So that's the amount of money that I get to deduct, and I hope I should be doing these numbers right. If I'm not, somebody chime in. So, so that right there is the tax deduction. That's the mileage tax deduction that I'm taking off. So I'm taking that off. So that leaves me with 21,120. Okay. So we're going to do an estimate here. So let's just say roughly you're doing 10 notarizations per order. Okay. Give or take, but we'll say it averages out to 10. Okay. So 10 notarizations. And so that's 10 notarizations. So 10 times 280. So that's 2,800 notarizations that you did. So that's $5 times 2,800. That's 14,000. Because keep in mind now, for every time I stamp in Virginia, I get to deduct that $5. That $5 gets exempt from self-employment tax. So now you're talking about $14,000 that gets deducted. So you got 21,120 minus the 14,000. So that's how much my taxable income roughly is going to be. Remember, with a business, and this is where you got to get out of that pay myself thing sometimes. With a business, it's about the money you bring in minus the expenses that you paid and your deductions, then that's what you pay your taxes on. So you brought in 50,000, you had 32,000 in expenses and deductions, and then you pay taxes on what's left over. When you're W-2, you get your money come in, your 50,000, you pay taxes on that 50 right off the top, and you live off the rest. And then you pay your expenses off of what's left over. That's basic business, and that's how this economy works. Period. So, do you want to be paying taxes on the 50,000 or the 7,000 or 10,000? Which one you want to pay taxes on? It's about how much you get to keep. And if those of you who was at the Sustainable Notary Conference that was here in Virginia, excuse me, sorry about that. That's what Renee Dentman talked about. She talked about that. That's what my accountant, Rob Turner, has talked about on this channel. Anybody who understands accounting will tell you. I think Shannon, she does CPA stuff. Anybody can tell you that's how business is ran. But if you're not doing any work, if you're not pulling in the money, if you're not doing anything to where you're generating an expense, you're just sitting back all day and not doing anything, then even if you did make $50,000, you have like $5,000 in expenses. So that means you're going to be paying taxes on $45,000. I mean, that's just really where it's at. So everybody who's saying now, oh, I'm leaving loan closings, I ain't got time to be driving around and printing and all of that. Okay, so you're removing all of those expenses. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, you don't have those expenses of buying toner, paper, folders, none of that. You don't even need to buy pens and stuff, a whole lot of pens and stuff. So you got rid of all those expenses. You're not driving your car. So you don't have that expense or deduction, as much of a deduction. Okay, cool. But here's the thing. In order for you not to pay taxes on the 45 after your expenses, what deductions do you have? You need to start giving more money away. You need to start donating more so to tax deductible organizations so you can reduce your tax burden. So you're going to probably have to give out $25,000 or $30,000 so you can take that 45 down to only have to pay 10. I mean, you got to do something. And I'm telling y'all from personal experience, from a W-2, when I started making over six figures, I had to pay $6,000 in taxes. And I asked my accountant what the heck happened. He said, you didn't have enough deductions. He said, you was really maxed out. And he said, but if you change this, and this, you probably be paying less. He said, you won't be at zero, but you'll be paying less. And he was right. I did what he said. And I ended up paying half the next year. So in 2 years, I paid basically $9,000 in taxes. All because I was making a lot more money, but I didn't have enough deductions to justify my taxable income being lower. This is what's going on, people. This is the stuff that nobody's really talking to y'all about and helping y'all to understand. Okay. So if you get up and go out there and do the work. So let's just say you do a $60 order. $60 order, and you have 12 notarizations in a $60 closing. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but we'll just say 12 for the sake of numbers. And like for me, I get to pull out of there $5. I get to deduct, $5 off for each notarial stamp. That's $60. Well, that $60 that I just made is now exempt from self-employment tax. That's $60 I just did. If you got Notary Gadget, Notary Assist, it'll show you in there. When you put it in, it tells you here's what your taxable income is. Here's what your SC, Form SC, what you report. You had these expenses. You had these notarial things that you were able to deduct from self-employment. You still report the overall amount, but what you pay taxes on is a whole lot less. Again, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not your tax person. Please consult with somebody who is. I'm just sharing my opinion from my experience. If I'm incorrect, throw something in the chat and I'll be more than happy to bring you up and you can break this down even further. But me and my accountant have done a great job in communicating this to notaries, and several of y'all have started using him and he's been helping y'all out. So this is where it's at, people. So if you do let's throw some more numbers up here. So let's just say you do a $200, or let's just say me. I do a $200 order for a will. Okay. So I'm charging them $200. But in that will, it's only it's only 3 notarizations. It's really only 3 notarizations. So and I normally can charge $5 per each time I stamp at the max. I can charge a travel fee. So for my self-employment, so you talking about minus 15. So now so basically what you're saying is you're charging somebody $185 in travel fees to come to them. And I know everybody say, well, what about, I'm charging a convenience fee. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Does your state say you can charge a convenience fee? Mine doesn't. And people are doing that. So that $200 that you made, you only had 3 notarizations. Your self-employment tax burden is $185. So that same $200, you got 12 notarizations. That's $60 off. I'm paying taxes on 140. You see the difference? I'm paying taxes on the 140. I still report the 200, but what I'm paying taxes on is the 140 because of the $5 notarial stamp deduction that I get to take, or whatever the dollar amount for your state. Some states it's only $2. Sorry about that, y'all. Some states is more, like California, so they got it good. So heck, I wouldn't, I have no problem, notarizing, doing 15, 20 notarizations. I mean, let's look at the numbers. So you're talking about 15 times 20. That's $300. You ain't paying. You do 15. I'm sorry. No. Yeah. $15. 15, and then times 20. Times 20 notarizations. That's $300. That's $300 off that you get to deduct from. Y'all should be tearing it up out there in California. Y'all should be tearing it up out there in California. And you talk, so essentially, so now if you're getting basically you get any notarial closings that's less than 300, you basically at zero paying self-employment tax. If my understanding is correct, and if I'm wrong, again, correct me. That's what I'm talking about. Now, this convenience thing, okay, a lot of people keep doing this, talking about, I'm charging a convenience fee. Here's the thing. Let me close this out. Leave that up, and let me swing over here. Here's the thing about this convenience tax. This convenience fee. Is it really an inconvenience for you to do something that you volunteered to do? Outside of you actually getting, outside of the customer, you could be a notary and never make a dime because you just sit there and do nothing because the state's not paying you. I don't know how that thing got in here. The state's not paying you. You get what I'm saying? The state is not paying you. So what does that mean? You volunteered to be a notary. I don't think the state is going around advertising, we're hiring notaries or none of that kind of stuff. I don't think they're doing that. So what that means is what? You volunteered to do this job. And then you start doing it and you're like, well, I need y'all to compensate me more. The state is like, this is a volunteer thing. You don't have to charge them or this, that, and the other, but we gave you the guidelines. Well, it's putting me it's inconveniencing me to have to go do this notarial thing for them. Oh, if it's inconveniencing you, then what about this? How about you just resign your commission? Resign your commission. If it's, you see what I'm saying? If it's really that much of an inconvenience for you to go help out somebody in, now granted, yes, you have people who want to have you running around all over the place. I get that, but you can always say no. Just like a guy hit me up last week, was telling me I'm gonna pay you this. Didn't ask me how much I get paid tomorrow. Well, I normally pay notaries this. I'm like, okay, that's nice, but this is my fee. Because because he had me coming in there blind, and I don't think he was being honest with me. Here we go. I don't think he was being honest with me about what it was going to be about, how it, what it entailed. Just something. Right. So Caprina said he did his tax. Me and him was talking about that. Yeah, he didn't have to pay the self-employment tax because of all of that. You see what I'm saying? Folk got y'all all twisted, but let me go stop before I go. Yeah, he didn't want to pay. It wasn't that he didn't want to pay. And even what he was saying he was going to pay was fine. but my gut was telling me there was more to it than that. And I was like, well, here's what my fee is. And then I was like, okay, if I get there and this is, I don't have a problem dropping it. But he didn't want to hear that. It was like, I'm telling you, this is what I mean, that's how he came at me. Like, I'm telling you, this is what I'm like, you don't got to be mean or anything. It's like, you have a right to say no. And all of that, so I wasn't feeling it too much. I really wasn't feeling it too much. But y'all got to take responsibility for what you're supposed to be doing out here as a notary and learning stuff instead of worrying about trying to get into the next big thing. This is a volunteer position. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody's demanding you. You found out about it. You swore an oath to do it. So go do it. In the interim, you can make money doing this. And that's why a lot of people are switching over from doing the actual signings to just doing the education, because they figured, oh, I can make more money teaching notaries what to do. Nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. At some point in time, somebody has to notarize something. Somebody has to go out here and actually notarize a document. The question is who? Because we got 37 people in here. If all 37 of us decided we're going to start teaching, who's going to notarize stuff? When does stuff gets notarized? That's the question. When does things get notarized? Because that's what we swore an oath to do. Not start your training company or some other kind of this, that, the other, or Facebook this, Facebook that. No, that's not what you. That's not what you elected to do. That's not the whole point of being a notary, to do all that stuff. If you can make some, that's cool. But at the end of the day, somebody still got to notarize the document. And right now, you're talking about 30% of the people who taking training is turning around and saying, I want to be a trainer. I want to make money doing that, rather than go out and do the job of a notary. That's why I said about a year ago, is this turning into network marketing? Are we making a 1% notary club where only 1% of the notaries are really making money? And then you have to analyze that a little bit deeper. What is it that they're making their money from? Are they making their money from doing actual notarial work, or is it I'm selling products? Because that's all we're seeing right now. We're people selling products over top of products over top of products, and it's overwhelming people. And the products that a lot of folk are selling is not meeting the need of the person. Can it help? Yes. But is it meeting your need? And that's where you have to define your need. What is the need that you need to define? You need to define what you're trying to accomplish in this business. And overwhelming, the people are saying, I need to understand how to, well, two things. 80% of the people saying, I want to learn the documents. I want to know what the documents are all about. And that's after they done took training. So that tells me whatever training you took didn't accomplish that. And then the 20% is saying, well, I want to make sure I understand how to do my job as a notary. So only 20% of the people actually that I've communicated with really wants to know how to be a notary. Everybody else is just like trying to check the boxes. Okay, I know this, that. And now they want to be like the Gross sisters from the Proud family, got their hand out trying to get paid. This is what's going on. Right. And they're really not selling products. They're selling information. They're selling information on what to do. Let me see if I can figure. Let me show you how easy it is to find out stuff. So somebody was asking me a question about what something meant. And this phrase right here, refi first only. This is what you will see sometimes when an order comes in. To get the answer is simply, why don't you Google it? So it says refinance first mortgage only. That's all it means. That you're refinancing the first mortgage only. And then it right here talks about second mortgages and all of that. So all they're doing is refinancing. I wish I could find that more detailed explanation that they had up there. But basically, all this means is that you're refinancing your first mortgage or your second, meaning they have a first and a second mortgage on their property. And they're refinancing the first one or the second one or both. That's all it means. But to get that answer, you do what? You can Google it. Just like when I did the research on I think I typed in meaning of seal for notary. Think on and then I just went through and I did all kind of research, you know, and figured out what that meant. I forgot what the exact phrase that I used and everything. I might have been meaning of seal for notary. I'm gonna try that. I think that's what I Googled, but I went in here and then I just started researching, reading, learning what does it mean? What does seal mean? And somewhere in here it talks about the word seal, the history of the word seal. You know, and all of that history of the notary seal. And you go in there and somewhere along the line, I wish I could remember exactly. Well, in that video, I think I got the links to all of that. But I went and I just Googled it to find out and spent some time doing research. The problem is, yeah, here's one of them. At the Britain, each registered notary individual has seal registered with the wax seal, stuff like that. And all the seal mean is just basically that you're signing your name. It's just a fancy term. It doesn't mean you have to put the notary seal on every single thing. And like you said, what they're doing is selling you information. And it's not, and you can sell information. The question is, they're selling you access to information. The question is, could you have found that information if you would have took a little time out yourself? It's either yes or no. Some people have the ability, some people don't. If you do pay somebody for this information, just understand that's all they're giving you. You still got to be able to implement it. And I'm gonna tell you now, that's what most notary trainers are telling you. Going to tell you, they're going to sit here and say, "Well, I put all this information together," and they're going to data dump it on you, and then now it's up to you to figure it out. It's up to you to figure out how to implement it in your own life. Say they need to stop that foolish I have, and we'll leave my house for 40. See, told you Shantae gonna have a shirt up there. I'm gonna leave my house for 40. And then now what's gonna be tripped is somebody have a graphic up there with a lady leaving and she got a kid on her back, or I guess now they had that front carrier and another stroller, and you have Man and TT carrying her notary bag at the same time. That would probably what you should do, Q. Do one for the ladies with little Man and TT in tow. What's going on, Ms. Moore? What's going on? And let me just show everybody again what we got going on. We got the new graphic. I leave the house for 60. This is the new graphic. It's on the shirts. I leave the house for 60. Because everybody talking about I ain't leaving my house for this, that, and the other. The true party people will leave the house for 60 and we go out there and make that money. And that's what this is all about, people. The numbers don't lie. As I recently just showed y'all, 45% of my work that I've done this year was under $100. Had I not taken that money, I would have only made 15,000 or so, and that's not good. I need more than that. Okay, I need more than that on top of the other stuff that I'm doing. Now, there are people out here who literally they got enough expense, deductions and stuff with other businesses that they're doing. their husband or their wife is working the job, and they got, in other words, they got all of their revenue paid. They got all of their, bills paid. They got all their bills paid. They got all their expenses covered for their household. So notary is just extra. When notary work is extra, just play money, you can say, I don't leave my house for anything less than for under 100. But when this money is what's feeding you and your babies, it's what's keeping a family together. It's keeping a spouse from walking out on another spouse. That's the thing. So this is where y'all got to ask those questions. Okay, you don't leave your house for 60. So you mean to tell me you're making enough money from the notary to pay all of your bills, or do you have something else going on? And that's when you're going to find out, well, see what it is. Yeah, I get the money from the notary, but I got my disability. I got this car accident money. I got child support money. I just got off of paying child support. I got this coming in, that coming. I just got an inheritance. So you got all of that. So you really don't need, so you can, the full notary money to me. Okay, got it. There's nothing wrong with that. But be upfront and honest with me and let me know. Don't sit here in front like I ain't doing nothing for 60 and I still make all the money to take care. All this that you see me doing on TikTok and Instagram and everything, it all comes from the notary and nothing else. All right, lady, you have a good one now. You have a good one. You see what I'm saying? Now, let me see. Now, I don't know if anybody want to hop up here and have a civilized conversation or share anything, and I'll be watching for these little spammers trying to hop in here. But if anybody want to hop on, camera got to be on. If your camera ain't on, I ain't letting you up. It's that simple. Your camera ain't on, I ain't letting you up, because I need to see who you are. Because you got all these little funky people doing all this little creepy stuff and all of that and everything. So there's the link if anybody want to hop on, got a question, legitimate notary question, all of that. Feel free to hop up here and talk to us, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Right. If it's too far, if it's logistically, I've always said, don't turn down money unjustifiably. Have a justified reason. Let that be your justified reason why you aren't taking a particular order, not because somebody said it's beneath you. Look, let's deal with that subject there. Somebody telling you that something is beneath you. What's beneath one person may not be beneath another. Case in point, a woman who tells another woman, don't be with that guy because he's only making 45,000, that's beneath you. Versus, but that woman's like, I want a guy that's making 90,000 or 100. The guy meets all the other parts of your needs for your life. He's the kind of man you want. So what? He makes 45,000, but he's able to pay his bills. He's not in debt. How is that beneath somebody? Is that really beneath you to be married to a guy who's making 45,000? Well, yeah, your man is making 90,000, but y'all got probably $150,000 worth of debt that he's struggling to pay. So he got more debt than income. This guy got more income than debt. How is that worse? You get what I'm saying? People look at stuff on the surface and say, that's not worth it. That's beneath you. You shouldn't do that. Okay. So then what shall I do? Well, you need to take orders like this. Then where hithereth are thou signings that of priceth? You get what I'm saying? Where is those orders? I'm fine with sitting on my couch and not moving a muscle for anything less than whatever you say, but for everything that's at that dollar price point and above, when am I going to get the opportunity to do those orders? Because what I keep seeing, you see what I'm saying? I keep seeing, man, don't marry her, man. She don't know how to cook. Okay. Well, how about me and her? But she's everything else I need. How about this? How about, I know how to cook a little bit. How about me and her learn to cook together? You get what I'm saying? People find some kind of reason to tell you why you shouldn't. It will be beneath you to have something in your life but they can't provide you a suitable alternative. They tell you there's an alternative, but they can't really provide you the alternative because that's not in their heart. Okay, okay. Gotcha, Oswald. Gotcha. You see what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I'll be looking for your back channel. You know, that's the thing. I get it. But at the same time, if all the companies are paying around this fee, all the notaries want a fee up here. How do you get the people that's paying you here to pay up here? That's the question. DS High. All right. Let me see. Do I know you? Do I know you? Oh, you Dan Lawson? Let me see. You Dan from the Dan Show? I'm trying. I don't recognize you, man. Hit the chat room. Let me know who you are in the private chat back here. There's a private chat so I can know who you are. Don't recognize you. You new. All right, no, are you a notary? Are you a notary? Hold on. Okay, well, we're here for notaries, my man. We're here for notaries. Okay, well, I don't want like having people smoking and all of that kind of stuff. All right. Don't know who that gentleman is at all and stuff. Okay, well, part of the thing is they can't request more from their clients. The reason why they can't request more from their clients is because they may be in a contract. They may have a contract that requires them, that might be requiring them to just, that, hey, this is what the fees are for the next 12 months. So they may not be able to just, up the fees just because of inflation, because the signing companies got to get their money from the title get their money from the lender. And if they say this is where it's at, that's just where it's at. So people are cutting expenses. So yeah, they understand that, they understand that, but they're like, nah, they're not going to up the fee. You get what I'm saying? It's not like, yeah, they're aware of inflation, but if they already got a contract in place to pay this much and they weren't prepared for this, they didn't have any, that's really where it's at. And it's unfortunate. It really is. It's really unfortunate, but that's the problem. Let's see here. I have a dummy. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just let me see. Yeah, I'm from down south. People are roguish. Yeah, yeah, they are roguish. Yeah, they roguish. Yeah, that's a southern term for people are real. You know, they be stealing. It's the roguish. So yeah, see, yep, everything's coming along fine. Everything coming along fine. So the main thing is you are responsible for everything. I'm not opposed to the people gonna do what they want to do. What I'm opposed to is that sometimes people don't give the proper disclaimers to let you know that this is the limit of what they do. Like me, I don't teach marketing. That's not my forte. I don't even try to pretend like I do. I just stick with what I know that I'm good at and what I know that I can be most effective with. But when you got people trying to teach you some of everything, it's like, am I really going to learn the main thing that I need to know? If I'm not able to learn the main thing that I need to know, then teaching me five different things in one class setting doesn't do me any good. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I just stick to one thing, helping people with the loan closing process, teaching you how to actually do the loan closing. That's what the notary success system is all about. I probably should promote it more. You know, this weekend we got training. Go to notarysuccesssystem.com and you can sign up for the classes in person. So if you in Texas or California, whatever, you probably won't be rolling up over here because that's where we're at, and everything. So any other notary questions that y'all have, any other questions concerning notary, y'all can just type it in the chat and everything. Any other notary questions that y'all have? Right. Lesson plans. My wife's big on lesson plans. And even though I don't have anything formally written down, I do have a lesson plan. I do have a method in which I'm training people, to make sure that they go from here to the next level so that they can join in, so that they can, know what they're supposed to be doing. That's the key thing, so it's not just sharing information, but it's also enabling the person to learn. And that's why I always talk about the environment. You have to have the right environment to educate somebody. You just can't be doing stuff at clubs and at parties and at restaurants and all that. You can't make everything turn up. We're gonna party it up because you're not giving the person the opportunity to learn. See, this is where inexperienced trainers, they don't get that people, they need the right environment. And if you train somebody and they get it, and then they immediately now you want to have a party and you ready to throw back some drinks, everything that Jesus learned from you goes out the window and they gonna feel like they wasted their money. So when I do my training, after it's over, we say our pleasantries. All right, peace out. And then so that way they can go and now they can on their drive home, they're reflecting on what they just spent the last 2-3 hours learning. You don't have somebody learn something and then turn it and then go into an after party. Okay, you don't do that. You know, I'm getting more structures since the market has changed. Yeah, people are doing, settlements, annuities. They're doing all kinds of stuff to save money. Now I'm telling y'all, what's getting ready to hit next is those daggone interest only loans, which a lot of them are already out there. But there's going to be more and more interest only loans, more and more and more, which means refinances might be able to kick back in, purchases going to be interest only, all of that. People are willing to do that, which means if the people are smart and they do the interest only right, within 3 to 5 years, and if you can hang in there that long, they will be refinancing out of the interest only into a fixed rate. This is why this is the education that we need to have. Interest only, all they paying is interest. But when those interest rates go up, their payments go up after a certain amount of time. However, if they refinance into a fixed rate that can be lower than what it could have been, that saves them a lot of money, and they get a fixed rate at 4%, 5%, maybe even 6%, which would be better than your interest rate going up every single month and your payment going up and down. And in most cases, it's just going up higher, higher, higher. And that's what's happening with a lot of people. I was in an interest only loan and we was able to get out of it. So we went from had an interest only loan, got out of it, and we're doing fine. We haven't had any problems. Yes, I saw your. Yep, yep. I sent you the payment link. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think you were the most recent person. Oh yeah, the 17th at 8 a.m. That's when. Now people gave me a little bit of grief about doing the training on the weekend, but surprisingly, a lot of people are signing up to take the Sunday morning classes at 8 a.m. And I was shocked. I was thinking everybody was going to be wanting to do the Saturday at 5 and the Sunday at 4:30, but a lot of people have signed up to do that Sunday morning class. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was up getting stuff together for her, sending her emails and everything. And that's the key. You're right. You're right, Miranda. You get pulled. Like, look, not being trying to be super spiritual or anything, but what does the Bible say? A double-minded person is unstable in all their ways. And no educator should have you all over the place mentally to where you can't be stable. That's why I just focus on what I know that from what I see is needed to help people get a firm foundation. That's the goal. My lady said she can't focus in the afternoons. Gotcha. Hey, I understand. I understand. So you got to be able. See, this is the beauty about what I'm doing, and this is why I love it. I do wish I could do it during the week, but the problem is it's the focus thing, because a lot of people, you're working your regular job, you this, that, and the other, and you're just all over the place during the week, and you may not be able to focus. But come Saturday or Sunday, you can plan for that. You can say, okay, well, I can do something on the 24th of the month at 4:30 in the afternoon. And you can plan to get your mindset to do that, because you like, okay, this the weekend, people be looking at sports or whatever, and I can go take care of this here. Wife will be out with the girls, hanging out, chilling, and I can go get some training. It's harder sometimes than a weekday when you got kids running all over the place, this, that, and the other. And then you can come in like, okay, now I can focus. And that's the whole thing. Once I can get a person to focus and they don't have any of this other stuff, and then when I start sharing what they need to know, bam, it's like, okay, got it. And people are picking up on it quickly. They're like, now it's making sense. Now it's making sense. And when I give you my pre-test, I call it a pre-test. When I give you that test when you first get there, that just sets you up for success for the actual closings that you're going to be doing. And when I hit them with the closings, then boom. But it also exposes bad habits, because people, when they got bad habits, they revert back to that. So that pre-test really helps you figure out, okay, whether you on track or you way off track, what you didn't understand. And what it does is it exposes what you was taught, and it helps you to understand the truth of it. Oh, wow, this is what it really means. This is why I couldn't figure this out, because I didn't understand this part. That's what I do. That's what I do. Yep, yep, you're right. He had our paths crossed, girl. So that's what it's all about. And again, I'm not trying to put down anybody other trainers, because they're going to do what they do, just like I'm gonna do what I do. But I just know from experience, you can't have a person, and this is not picking on anybody. The average length of training that I'm seeing is about 2 hours. And 2 hours is a good amount of time to work with people. But when you need people to actually individually do things so that it can be reinforced and solidified within their own psyche, now you got to reduce the amount of people you're working with. I can do 2 hours with 3 people and get everybody in there to do about maybe 3 closings each. But when you got 12, 15, 20 people, they're not going to get that. 15 people in 2 hours, there's no way. You're not even going to get through, you're barely going to get through 2 closings in that time period with one person with all the questions. So that's why I reduced the amount of people. It's just only 3 to 5. These are the things that you have to look at as a trainer. And I'm sharing this with y'all because this is what I did over the last year, analyzing how can I be effective with the people who are going to spend time and money with me. Because it's not about just trying to make money, but it's about being effective so that you can go out and make money. What's the point of taking training with anybody and you can't implement any of what they taught? Y'all heard the young lady Tina last week. She came on and said everything that we talked about in those sellers packages was able to help her out in what she did. Another young lady, she had her application. I got to go check on her, see how she's doing. And she went out there and knocked that out. This is what it's all about. And that's why I love the Notary Success System. It's guaranteed. I feel it's guaranteed. If you come in correct and I do what I'm supposed to do correct, then I believe you're guaranteed to see some great results for your life and for your notary business. That's just the truth of the matter, in my opinion. Any other questions? Any other questions, concerns? He said, I'm just saying squeezing 3 or 4. Yeah, it is not optimal. And Q was he was a corporate trainer. It is not optimal. It is not. It is not, because that person is not going to retain. They're going to get overwhelmed. They're going to get overwhelmed. And that's not what you want. That's not what you want. You don't want people to be getting overwhelmed and all of that. So everything. All right. So let me recap, because I think that should be it. So to recap, every dollar counts. That's really it. Every dollar counts. Go out here, make the necessary money. I'm not opposed to people who don't want to get up and leave the house for $60. That is your right. But as we have all grown up being told, don't be sitting up here trying to count somebody else's money. If they want to leave the house for 60, let them. None of y'all tell people, somebody said, well, I ain't worried about getting a raise this year. You don't sit there and be fussing. No, okay, that's on you. If somebody wants to work all these extra hours thinking that they're going to get promotion and you don't want to work those, you like, okay, go ahead on, you do you. When it comes to the notary, everybody's trying to have this equal level the playing field, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So first time, yes, you do need to do a jurat. That's depending on what state you're in. That should be standard. You have to do the oath. On my community tab, I put a video up there that from the NNA that talks about how to conduct the oaths and affirmations. You have to, say a statement, depending on what state you're in and how their rules are, determines how you go about sharing, saying the statement. And there's various different ways of saying it. So you can check with your state on that. And then you get stuck on recording. Depending on what state you're in, you have to do that one line by line. That's can take some time. And that's the sad part, where people, are saying I'm doing these closings in, microseconds, but in all honesty, they got to sit there and record all of that stuff in these individually in these logbooks. So I don't have it. If you have the integrity journal and if you're able to use the integrity journal in your state, that will be a journal that you can use, because you can go back and note all of those things in there. But it all depends on whether or not your state. I know people are using a site called Jurat, which is a e-notary journal, and all of that. So, okay, you're in South Carolina. Gotcha. Yeah. So it all depends on your state. Um, Virginia, we're sort of loose, not overly loose, but we're a little loose. So we will I can use the integrity journal and we don't have to record line by line each. I mean, we can, but we're not even required to have a journal. But for the mortgages and stuff, I do. And that integrity journal actually works out real well. And there's a couple other journals that I have that I'm reviewing right now, looking into them, and they're pretty nice also. Um, I like the integrity journal because it's real simplistic for me. Straight point right there, and all of that. All right, Shantae, go ahead on bounce out. What's going on, Jeff? So that's the thing. So in summary, I leave the house for 60. Many of you leave it for 60. If you want the shirt and everything, it's going to be on Q's site. If I can find it. Where did here it is. So it's going to be on Q's site. Captivated Notary Store.com. Exclusive. I leave the house for 60. My man, I tell you, he did a wonderful, wonderful job on that. I'm serious. He did a wonderful job on that. So I leave the house for 60. And again, I'm not saying you have to. You're going to do what you want to do. And I respect that. I know, man. I know I had to bounce off the fritters for a little while. So I got some rice and ground turkey over here that I was eating on before I hopped on with y'all. I got to warm it back up and finish eating that. But yeah, so 45% of my revenue so far this year has come from orders under $60. I mean, under $100. As a man, there's just no way that I feel that I could just stand up there and tell my wife, I'm not going to take those orders and not bring in the money. There's just no way. There's no way. There's no way, Yeah, Old Republic has been reaching out to people. Old Republic has been reaching out, wanting people to sign up with them directly. If they contact you, say yes. When they ask you, they're going to tell you how much they're going to pay. When you get to the point in the application that says how much you want for these different locations or areas and all of that, just give them some cities and put the fee that they told you. Because I asked them about that, and I'm like, okay, you told me this is what you're paying, but you're asking me to tell you what I want. And I'm like, what I want ain't what you paying. And they're like, we understand, just put down what we said. And that's what I did, and I got approved. I just have not gotten an order from them yet, but I do know a couple of people who have. But Old Republic is moving away from some of the signing companies because some of the signing companies have not been doing them good. What specifically, I don't know, but I just know that things haven't been working well for Old Republic and some of these signing companies. So they still do deal with signing companies, but certain ones they're moving away from, so, and it also depends on whether Old Republic is working in your area. If they are, they'll probably reach out to you. And what they told me was that they was contacting people based on the NNA site, signingagent.com. That's why you got to get your profile straight, which I always talk about that. If you do your profile picture, all of that. Yeah, that's where they're looking. So see, this is what I'm saying, people. Okay, y'all about to have me on here for about 12 hours now. Look, people are telling y'all all kinds of stuff. Your profile don't matter. Your profile ain't don't worry about that. Just throw something up there. Just say deuces. And they look at that and they're like, okay, who is this? Who is it? Your profile does matter. If somebody says this stuff to y'all, make them prove it to you. Make them prove it to you. No, it don't matter. Why doesn't it matter? If it doesn't matter, then why do they have it in there? What do you mean it doesn't matter? Nobody looks at that. Okay, so then why is it that I can't get approved for certain sites unless I put something in my profile? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's almost like you trying to say, well, your notary commission don't matter. Just as long as you get a stamp, you'll be good. No, your profile does matter. Your profile does matter. It's a modern journal. Okay, yeah, I've heard of modern. I have not done anything with. Have I? I don't know. I might even have that here because I know somebody sent me a journal a couple of months ago, and I'm still got to finish reviewing it and everything. Yeah. So 45% of my revenue is less than $50. I mean, I keep saying 50. Is less than $100, but that included. Oh, okay, signature closers. Yeah, they've been hitting me up. Matter of fact, I don't. You know what? They want me to update my info with them, and I'm skeptical because I can't never get an order with them. I haven't gotten an order with them in almost a year. I will see the notifications. Well, I would hear the notification on my phone, but then when I go to open it up, it's gone. So, and I haven't really gotten into LinkedIn yet. Maybe I will. I know Bill Soroka wrote a wonderful book, from what I understand, about LinkedIn for notaries. That would be a good resource that you can check out and everything. So I think that's it. If no one else has any other questions or concerns or anything with regards to notary, the business, all of that, I think I covered all of my points. Like I said, today was last minute signing, and I didn't have a chance to sit down and write all my notes out like I thought I was going to, and everything. So I appreciate the likes and all of that. Ron. Okay, about Ron. Matter of fact, I just redid my Ron thing today. Hopefully to come in today because I got a daggone Ron closing next week. I have a Ron closing next week. Oh goodness. No, I was just reading an email from a person. She's saying she doesn't have access to a webcam. That's gonna be a hard time, but I can't do gotta be okay. Ooh, that's gonna be a problem. But yeah, I gotta well, right now I haven't started using Amy's platform yet. I'm using Doc Verify because I signed up with them way before she ever started, doing her thing. So I gotta switch over. I'll probably keep Doc Verify because I'm grandfathered in their pricing. So I'll probably keep them and then also sign up with hers. How about that? I'm hungry. And everything. So I gotta figure out this if she doesn't have a webcam, that's not gonna work. And she's out of the country. That's what makes it worse. She's out of the country. So I gotta figure this out. Okay. But right, easy to get, but she's out of the country. So I don't know what the deal is. I have to find out what's going on. Need a Dot Verify, Ron? As soon as I get my stuff back together, I gotta get my letter from the state because my certificate got messed up. So I had to get another certificate and everything. So they're processing that now. Oh, there you go, my man Jeff. All right, I know Jeff. All right.
How you doing?
Some creepy stuff going on with Jeff. I know that much.
So what's up, man? Yeah, I wish I had known that you were Dog Verify, Ron. I was looking for somebody and I found a couple notaries, and it was a nightmare, man. Doc Verify is not the best platform. And this lady took 3 days to notarize a grant deed. She didn't have enough information to create the 5 questions for the KBA.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the title company and the lender wanted Doc Verify. They had a list of approved things, and I'm like, I told the lady, I said, we can't do it, Doc Verify, sorry. So the notary used Cyberize it, and we got it done, and then we just sent it off, and she's like, thank you.
Yeah.
I like we could have done that day one, but whatever.
Yeah. The Doc Verify, whew, that can be a beast, because you got to use the KBA. You got to have a social. You got to have driver's license, U.S. cell phone number. There's videos that I send to clients to look at so that they can see how the process works for as getting KBA verified through Doc Verify. So if they have all of those pieces together and they look at those videos, they'll get through with no problem. The issue is a lot of the people are overseas, and they may not, their driver's license might be expired, the U.S. driver's license, all of that, or they on an international phone number, which that's not going to work because Doc Verify texts you to your U.S. number certain things for you to do. So the problem I've been having is that people don't have all of their stuff together in order to go through the KBA check.
Yeah, so this lady, she was in Mexico. She's up here. She lives about an hour east of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was in Mexico, and they found me through Doc Verify because I am on that platform for iPen. So they got me hooked up or whatever. I emailed, and that's how I got the lead. But what's interesting is that the notary that was helping me, she was over in Florida, and she said that the device that she had was too old because she had like an iPhone 7 or something. And I guess Doc Verify doesn't like older devices or something. I don't know.
Well, the notary was using an iPhone?
No, not the notary, the client, the signer.
Okay.
Yeah, so she had an older phone. She's in the middle of nowhere in Mexico where internet's not the best, so just going through all those challenges, trying to overcome, everything. I was about this close to flying over there, grabbing her and taking her across the border and stamping it for her, So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But,
and then one guy, that's the thing. So if all the ducks are in a row, everybody got all this stuff. I haven't had a problem with Doc Verify. It's only when they don't have all the pieces. They're like, well, all I have is a passport. Doc Verify won't let you use a passport. I have a visa. Doc Verify won't let you use a visa.
Oh, so you have to have a driver's license.
You got to have a driver's license with Doc Verify. They won't even accept military ID.
Yeah.
That's the huge hiccup with Doc Verify. Outside of that, I haven't had a problem with them. Well, now the only other problem would be, and this is where I know Amy fixed it, or her. If you make a mistake in Doc Verify, you can't fix it on the fly. I believe Amy's platform you can. So if you make a mistake and not putting a seal on something or tagging something for somebody, you can sort of fix that before everything is processed, and all of that. That's one of the fallacies with Doc Verify. You can't do that because there was a couple of times where their page display is so small, and I missed that I needed to notarize something all the way at the bottom because I forgot to scroll up. And next thing I know, I'm reviewing the documents afterwards. I done missed 2 notarizations because they was at the bottom part of the page that wasn't being displayed on the screen.
Yeah. Hey, let me just, I don't want to hijack your video, but I need to tell you about a little experience that happened to me. I did two commercial loans the other day, and they come back and say, hey, you missed a notarization on both these loans for both the people, both the signers. It was the guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go take care of it. So I looked through the original documents, that the original file, and there's no notarial language on there. And they said I missed it. I'm like, okay, I didn't complain or whatever, but yesterday night, I had to drive 2 hours one way to the signer and then 2 hours back. So there were two signers. One was located in Sacramento. I mean, that's where he lives. He wasn't in Sacramento. He actually lives 20 minutes from, or his parents were 20 minutes from my house. That's where they originally signed.
Mm-hmm.
So I got his, and then I had to drive to his brother down in 2 hours south of me to go get it notarized, because they're like, oh, you just fill out a certificate. In California, you can't do that. You have to, the signer has to be present when you correct those things. So I had to do that, and she's like, email me, hey, we're gonna close because they're back east, and I didn't get home until 10:30 at night.
Ooh, man. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just had a document. They didn't even have signature lines on the page.
Oh, wow.
I was going through it and I was like, wait a minute. The content for them to read, my notarial area, but no signature lines. So I drew one on there. It was two people. So I drew them on there, and then I just said sign and then print your name underneath. And haven't heard anything back. So I guess that was good.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Well, that's good. So what else you got coming up, man? What other trainings you got going on?
Well, I don't have any training coming up unless somebody wants to do fingerprinting. I have that on demand every Thursday, so if somebody wants to sign up, they can do that. But I'm working on the Notary family. That's our launch is August 8th. So go to thenotaryfamily.com, register for that Zoom event, and that's a networking. It's a networking group where we came up with, and come in. We're gonna have speakers on our first meeting, and every other meeting we're gonna do networking, pure networking, just trying to get to know each other in the notary community to try and help each other build our businesses and network, because I've been networking with a lot of notaries, and I'm now getting, I just got a call. This is interesting. I need a Spanish speaking notary. I get a lot of Spanish speaking people. I don't speak Spanish. So I found a Spanish speaking notary. I said, hey, can I put you on my phone system? So anybody that clicks, 2 for Spanish, they will just go to you. She said, yeah, no problem. So she's getting all these Spanish speaker people. And she's like, yeah, what about this? Cause I do Apostille and all that. And she's getting all these calls. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll handle it. So it's kind of worked out. And today she's texted me, said, hey, do you do wedding services? I said, yeah, sure. But I don't speak Spanish. But hey, it's kind of worked out. So we have a bunch of local. I have a bunch of local people that I work with, along with national notaries. So it's kind of working out, and that's what we're trying to bring to the national stage to get that networking. So it's who to call and where to call if you get people in various states or areas to try and help the client out, right? So
yeah, that's good. Well, one thing, it seemed like your business has turned around for the positive over the last 8 to 10 months.
Oh, why do you say that?
No, it just seemed like you got a lot more going on. I mean, because before it seemed like I know you was doing the computer stuff, and things was seemed like it was trying to mellow out a little bit. And then next thing I know, it's like Jeff is moving on up. It's like you're really expanding. That's what I like to see. I mean, I just see like,
hey, I just talked to a lady. I just did some fingerprinting. This week I did a lot of fingerprinting. Did some churches. I worked with Joyce Gonzalez. She's here. She's in Bill's group, and we did like 77 people in 4 hours. 2 hours one day, 2 hours the next day, and out of that, then yesterday, this is what happened. I need to find out some information about this, but everybody that's listening to this is going to win, I guess. I talked to a lady that told me how to become a drug sample collector or whatever.
Yeah,
when you do drug tests and stuff.
Yeah.
So this is specific for nurses, firemen, police people when they're on probation. They have to take a drug test every week to make sure that they're clean. And so I'm like, okay. And so they're like, yeah, it's $100 every time they come in. I'm like, okay, send me the info. So she sent me the info. So I'm looking into it. So that's my next little project I'm thinking about. So, but bringing that mobile, I don't want to. They said do it. You can do it. You have to have a space if you're going to do. You have to have a bathroom and a place to wash your hands. If you have a space for somebody to come. I'm not going to do that, but you could do it mobile where you go to their house and then obviously they have that in their house. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be nationwide, the Notary family. So come, we're going to expand out nation. I mean, we're starting on Zoom and we're going to actually end up doing local events throughout the nation. It's just, we have to get to that point. So that was just a question in the chat. So
good shot, man. Good shot. I like the way things are expanding for you.
Yeah. And pretty soon I'm going to be out taking your class too.
All right.
I'm going to set up some event over your place while I take your class or something. I don't know. I'll have to work it in, to kill two birds with one stone over there, huh?
Yeah. I got a speaking engagement in the area on the 23rd, and a couple of the people who are going to that conference is going to stay behind another day and take training with me on the 24th. So I'm going to be speaking on the 23rd and then doing training with them on the 24th and stuff. So yeah, the training is coming along good, man. It's moving a lot better than I expected. I actually didn't expect anybody to want to do it, to be honest with you. Because there's so much stuff is out
how
there.
often do you do it? You do it every weekend or what?
Yeah, every weekend. Because I make myself available Saturdays and Sundays. So if somebody wants training, they go to the site, let me know. I send them the payment link, and then we go do the training. So even if it's one person that wants to train, I'll meet them. I do no more than 5 people at a time, and it's been working, man. It's been working. So there's been several weekends. It's just been me and one person. Or me and a couple of people, and I mean, you get the same effort out of me whether it's one person or 5 people, and it's been pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I see your videos; they look like everybody's happy when they leave you.
Yeah. Unless it's all that food I be feeding them.
Okay.
So Uncle Harry wanted to get a better idea of what the family network is all about.
So we're gonna. Well, you have to come. I don't want to explain it here because then it's gonna be blasted on YouTube. Come to the launch on August 8th, man. What it is, we're gonna have speakers. So at least once a month, we're gonna have a Zoom call. One month there will be speakers talking various topics, not necessarily related directly to notary work. It could be tax information, or we're going to have speakers on talking about safety as a notary, this kind of thing. Just various topics that touch the notary world. So not necessarily focused only on notary topics. So if you see the site there, if you click on upcoming meeting, you could just register now, and that's a Zoom link. So you just register on the Zoom link. Okay. And please register, because if you don't register, I won't know if you're going to fit in the room, because I'm not going to, I need to know if I have to expand up to 500 people or what I have to do, so, so that's August 8th. And then the second, every other month we'll be doing networking, where we'll get together, and we're going to be networking in small rooms via Zoom to start out with. but then we're going to, so no more than 5 people in a room to network. And then we're going to also have in-person events as well. But we're actually working on an in-person event in my area, just because we're here. Both my co-partner Maria Coburn and we're in the Bay Area, so we're going to do something here in the Bay Area to start out with 1 month. But we're going to be expanding as people jump on board. We're going to be we're going to cater to whatever area people are in, right? So if there's 20 people in your area, Griff, I'll be out there, and we'll do some in-person event out there, whatever, to get people together. So and then we're also we're going to provide resources. If you're a member, resources. One resource I'm working on is having a notary database that you can search by language. If you have a foreign language, or I'm going to have it so you can search by pretty much everything. And you could put in all your side hustles to your notary work, so if you're a wedding officiant or permit runner or whatever, that will be in there in that database. So if there's something, or apostille, so everybody's into that now. So if you need to find somebody in a certain state that does that, you can just search that and find the right person. Without, obviously there's a lot of these notary databases out there, but the issue is when you're looking, especially where I'm at, we're looking for Vietnamese or Chinese speaking notaries, and they're hard to find. Right. They're out there, but you can't find that. So that's what we're trying to do. We're going to have that as a resource for our members, along with some other resources that will enhance your daily life, your daily notary life. Let's say that. So
okay.
So yeah, so it's gonna be, and we're gonna make it. This is not just gonna be driven by myself and Maria. We're gonna rely on the community to come, and if they want to speak about some specific topic, that is near and dear to them, and they're an expert in it, we're willing to have people speak from the group, and if they want to provide resources, anybody that says, hey, I have this resource I use every day, I want, everybody should have this, whatever it might be, I don't know. We're going to provide that to the group, and, there will be a little bit of compensation for somebody that provides something to the notary family. So
gotcha.
We're just going to try and make it grow, and come together. I know that we do have a notary community, but the thing is we're, I know you, Griff, we know each other, and yes, I will come. I could think about you if I have something in Virginia, but other than I know you're a notary, I don't know anything about you, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that you're, you like driving Trans Ams or whatever. I don't know, I'm just saying we need to come together and learn a bit about each other and where we're at, and then we can help each other in different areas, because there's people that are struggling, not just in the notary business, but they might be struggling personally, that you might be able to help them because you have experience in that area, or whatever. So
correct.
That's what we're trying to do.
And that's something I've been saying for the longest, is that, you need to recognize that. And what I'm finding out, the reason why some people are struggling is because of what's going on in their personal life. And because of that, it's making it hard for them to retain and execute and implement any information, good quality information that they're getting, because after they get it, then they go home and it's like, man, I got to go deal with him. I got to go deal with her. I got to go deal with these kids. And it can be a big demotivator. And that was something that I learned years ago when we would take kids. We would take kids from time to time to like those youth conferences. And they said the worst part about the youth conference is that after the kid has spent all of this time, say 3 or 4 days, getting their focus right, then they go home to hell. And it's crazy at their house. And it's like, and everything that we poured into them when they go home gets snatched out because of the environment and things of that nature that's going on. And the same thing with the notary, with any education, you're helping somebody. And I'm not saying that all of us are crisis counselors and going to be at everybody's house helping them out. But I think there's enough people in the notary industry who have that background that I think it's time for them to possibly step up and provide some resources for notaries who are going through some things so that they can get the help. Because I mean, it can be very demoralizing when you're already suffering from self-esteem issues and then you get into a notary Facebook group and getting cussed out.
Yeah.
That's just a double whammy. You know, you're getting it from home and then you're getting it from these people who are saying, we're family, we're here for you. And then you say, so what do I do with this here notarization? What's wrong with you, dummy? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that's going on. And that's why I keep saying the people who run those Facebook groups need to step up and squash that and let nobody be dealt that way. That's not something, I mean, just
That's
like
not going to happen. We're not going to allow that in the notary family. If that happens, I'll refund somebody's money and they're out of the group. I'm not.
Right.
We're going to be professional. This is a group for professional notaries. I don't want notaries that are working at UPS store that are just doing this on the side or whatever. I mean, you could do it on the side if you're serious about the business and be in the group. I'm not saying I'm going to exclude you. I mean, you have to be a notary, of course, but we're looking for the people that want to bring their business to the next level. And I don't want to be, I've been in those groups too, Griff, and I kind of stay away from all that negativity. I mean, I've gotten ripped out too on those websites. So on Facebook. So, you know, it's just, you know, especially about Ron, because I'm in a California group and I say, oh yeah, I can help facilitate Ron. And I get like 10 notaries. You can't do that in California and all this. I'm like,
right.
And then I have to go and explain what I do. You know, it's like, come on, why are you saying no? Okay, obviously I'm doing some. Why don't you say, what are you doing? Instead of ripping into me, you can't do that, you know?
Right. So. Yeah, a lot of people are quick to say no to you and tell you how wrong you are without even trying to explore whether or not you could be right. Because they want to be right about you being wrong. That's what a lot of people. They get in these Facebook groups and other social media groups so they can sit back and see how wrong everybody else is, and then stand up and say how right they are that everybody's wrong. I told y'all everybody in this group was wrong. Okay, then why did you spend money and join it? Just so I could tell y'all wrong. That's why. Somebody had to tell you you're wrong. And at $200 a year, I will be glad to do that. That's how some people's mindsets are, man, unfortunately.
Yeah, I want to be a resource to people. And actually, I have a couple notaries here in my city. They're becoming certified fingerprint people. They're going to be my competition. You know, one lady, she's right here in my city. I said, you know what? When you get the certificate, let me know. I'll put you on my account. And then when you're ready to buy your own equipment and get that all set up, then, you know, you can have your own equipment, but she can get some experience under my account. I'm like, why does it have to be, you know, competition with one another all the time? We should help each other out, you know, because there's so much work to be done here. I mean, just notary and fingerprinting, I'm buried, you know?
Oh yeah.
And then I put Apostille. I'm doing Apostille on that. On top of that, I'm running out to Sacramento today. You know, I'm going up to Sacramento 2 or 3 times a week now. You know, so, and it's not it's an hour drive, so 3-hour round trip. You know, that's a big chunk of time. You know, so. But there's plenty of work, so don't be sitting there. You know, we should help each other out. That was my whole point. You know. So people are passing me work. I'm passing them work. You know, that's the way we should be.
So what you think about that?
I leave the house for $60. Is that you have that on your website or what? Or you?
That's what me and Q put that together. That's what we're going to be selling on T-shirts, cups, you name it.
Yeah,
Because so
that's
many
cool.
people, because so many people sit there and put folk down for doing that when they're just starting out and everything. And I told Q, I said, man, I want a shirt or something that says I leave the house for $60, and he put that together for me.
Yeah, it is awesome. Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
know when you have those on sale. Are they on sale? When you sell them, let me know, man. I'm gonna get
Oh,
one.
they on sale now, man.
Oh, great, man. Put the link
Yeah.
over. Oh, that's the link right there.
Yep.
Captivated Notary Store. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm late to the game because I didn't get on at the start when you were launching it. So, we're 3 hours behind you over here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's good, man. So yeah, I'm gonna register for your upcoming Zoom with that and everything. Make sure I clear my schedule so I can be there. But yeah, man, that's good. I love what you're doing, Jeff. I love what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I love what you're doing. That's why I'm on here, because I really appreciate what you have to share with the notary community. It's awesome, and
Yeah.
you're in it with a lot of other great notaries, trying to provide value and expertise where it's needed, and help all the fellow notaries out. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
That we need more of that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I try. That's what my goal is, to help encourage people, and that's why like today in the beginning part, I was sharing the fact that when I sat down and looked at my revenue for this year, 45% of it came from orders that was under $100. I'm like, who in their right mind is going to sit there and miss out on 45% revenue? So if somebody told you in January 1st of this year that in the first 6 months you can make this amount of money, and some of that money is going to be high fees and some of it's going to be lower fees, and if they told you, well, 45% of that is going to be lower fees, you mean to tell me that you would literally tell them, say, okay, X that out and just give me the higher fee stuff and not take the lower fee stuff so you can have overall a certain dollar amount? That doesn't make sense. That's not good business practice whatsoever, because if that was the case, when you go into all of these stores, even the high-end stores, Lord and Taylor, Neiman Marcus, they have stuff in there that's for $10, $15, next to their $200 wingtips. And I love me wingtip shoes. I ain't paying no $200 for them unless they're really, really special. But they have stuff in there of varying prices to meet various needs. And they count all of that as revenue for their business. And that's where I don't understand why a lot of notaries are acting like revenue is only $100 or more, $150 or $200. That's the only thing that can count as revenue. And accounting wise, that's not the case. There's nothing that says revenue starts at $200. Revenue starts at 1 cent. That's where revenue starts at. If you got zero, that's no revenue. 1 cent or more, that's revenue. And we always use, and people do it all the time, talk about take 1 penny and double it every day and you'll get this dollar amount. So I'm like, okay, if I can double 1 penny and have X however much in 30 days, then why can't I take an $85 order?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already ahead of it. Today I get 80. I'm already ahead of myself if I do the $85 order here, 95 there, 110, 65, 85, 150. I'm way ahead of myself than what I would be if I only took the 125, 110, 150. I'd be at what, 4 something versus 1200. Nah, 1200 pays bills. The 400 just gets you in trouble with your bill collector.
Yeah.
So if all you got is $400 in your account and the bill collector called and say, look, man, all I got is 400. But if you got 1200, they ain't calling because you paid the bill. In other words, what are you doing to bring in enough money so you ain't getting that phone call? And if you look at it that way, I guarantee you a lot of people will be like, you know what? I'm getting up off my couch for $60. I'm I'm out there. I'm going to go out there and I'm doing this, running, wind flowing right behind me. And that's how I
That's
be looking actually when I run out the house too, y'all.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, my man. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I know you got your stuff to do, and I'm about to get on up out of here. I'm gonna go kick it with the wife for the rest of the day.
Okay. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Anytime, my man. You have a good one.
Okay. Have a good one. Bye.
Good. And they are on sale now. I tell you, I'm serious. I was just sitting there staring at this last night. I was like, this. See, this is good collaboration when you meet quality people. Met up with Q. Me and him born on the same day. He reached out to me, and a great friendship has developed, just like between me and him, me and Matherin, me and Caprentice. And wow, I like that. I like that. I like that. You might have to make one for the ladies' Q, and everything, showing that hair flowing in the background, and all of that. Got mugs, all of that. Yeah, this. You know what? Bump it. You know what, man? I'm gonna take. I don't know if on your site. I gotta check to see if it's on your site before I do. I might do a car magnet just for the heck of it. Do me a car magnet and put that on the side. So all them hater notaries out there that be looking at me, they're like, oh, that must be Griff. I leave the house for 60. Get me a car magnet and stick that on. Stick that on a car magnet. I might get that tattooed on my arm. I'm gonna have to talk to the wife about that and everything. Get me a neck tattoo. I leave the house for 60. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, party people. It's time for me to bounce out of here. I've been messing around, cutting up, acting a fool all day today. But yeah, as always, I appreciate each and every one of you. I want the best for you. And I really no tattoo. Oh, that made Elaine pop up. She's sitting there hiding this whole time. I say tattoo, Elaine, no tattoo. What? Odell Beckham got it. I mean, and throw a little net tattoo of $60 right here. Little $60 tattoo right across here. I'm serious. I ain't getting no forehead. Well, I got a lot of forehead now, but I ain't getting no forehead and stuff. Or get that little 60 right there. But let me stop messing around. No 60. Nah, y'all know Mrs. G ain't about to let me get a tattoo. She ain't about to let me do that and stuff. Nope. Well, y'all have a good one. I appreciate y'all as always. CaptivatedNotaryStore.com. That's where it's at. This is it, people. This is it. This is the new thing here, y'all. This is the new thing. Bam. I love it. I'm serious, man. I love it. Woo. This is nice. All right. Y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Peace.